I know a woman. She is a mother, a caregiver, and the one who puts everyone else first. But when it comes to taking slightest decisions for her own self, she freezes. Recently, her son invited her to attend a small program with her. At first, she said yes, but within seconds, she started to doubt herself. She started to hesitate and repeatedly asked him, "Should I go? Will I be okay? Won't I make you uncomfortable? Will everything be fine?" It wasn't about the program. It was about the silent fear underneath her. Can I trust myself? This story is not just about her. It's the reality of many women and even men who have been doing everything for everybody else and they have never learned how to trust their own voice. And the hardest part, most of us don't even know that self-validation is what we have been missing. Today, we are going to change that. This video is for every person who has ever felt unheard, invisible, unsure, and not good enough unless someone else said so. It's time to understand what self-validation means and why it's the foundation of true, lasting confidence. Self-validation is not just a trendy buzzword or an abstract self-help idea. It's the simple, powerful act of acknowledging your own thoughts, emotions, and experiences without needing someone else to approve them first. It's when you feel hurt and you allow yourself to feel it without saying, "Maybe I'm just overreacting." It's about when you succeed at something and you say to yourself, "I'm proud of myself," instead of waiting for someone else to notice. Most of us grew up believing that our worth is something that needs to be proven. To parents, to teachers, to partners, to society, we are taught to chase gold stars and applauses to measure our success through someone else's eyes. And somewhere along the way, we forget that our inner voice, our inner yes, is the one that matters the most. Think about this. How many times have you said, "Should I do this? Do you think I did it the right way? Should I post this? What will people think?" These aren't just questions. These are the evidences of a missing habit. The habit of self-validation. Self-validation is not arrogance. It's not about ignoring feedback or shutting others out. It's about knowing who you are and allowing yourself, giving yourself the permission to take up some space, to say, "My feelings matter, my decisions count. I don't need a permission slip to believe in myself." And once you start doing that, even a little, you start to build something unshakable. Real confidence that doesn't collapse when the applause stops. Let's be real. The absence of self-validation doesn't always look dramatic. It shows up quietly, in hesitation, in overthinking, in that nervous smile when you want to say no, but you say yes, just to avoid judgment. Think about this. Have you ever doubted yourself for doing something that felt right to you? Have you ever asked 5 different people about what you should be doing and still felt unsure afterwards? That's the trap of external validation. When your sense of worth relies on other people's approvals, you start to build your confidence on shaky grounds. And the worst part, you start abandoning your own voice. Just like the story I shared in the beginning, my friend's mother who second-guessed attending a simple event. Not because she didn't want to go, but because her entire life she was conditioned to wait for someone else's green light. So let's be honest. How many of us have done the same? You have an idea, but you don't act on it unless someone else says that it's good. You dress up feeling confident unless someone doesn't compliment you, and suddenly you become unsure about yourself. You feel something deeply, but you downplay it because you don't want to be seen as too sensitive. This is not self-love. This is self-abandonment. And maybe you have seen this appear in other areas of your life. Relationships where you did not speak just to keep the peace. Jobs where you never spoke because you did not feel ready. Moments that you could have celebrated but didn't because no one else did. In one of my past videos of self-love, I talked about how you can't keep giving to others if your own tank is empty. This is exactly that. Without self-validation, you'll always feel like something is missing, even in a room full of praise. The truth, you don't need more approval. All you need is to start hearing and honoring your own voice. Here's a truth that might sting a little. You'll never feel truly confident, truly peaceful, truly happy until you learn to validate yourself. It's not that there's something wrong with you, but the fact is that your mind was never taught to feel safe with your own voice. We have been trained to earn love, to win praises, and to perform for acceptance. So what happens? We tie our worth to outcomes, to how well we did, to who noticed. And when no one notices, we question our worth, even when we did nothing wrong. Let me ask you, have you ever gotten a compliment and still felt insecure 5 minutes later? Have you ever reached a goal and immediately you start to question, okay, what's next? That's because external validation is a temporary high and it fades away just as fast. Self-validation, on the other hand, is soul deep. It's when you can say, I did not get the applause, but I know I did my best. I feel unsure, but I know I can figure it out. I made a mistake, but I deserve kindness. This mindset shift isn't about ignoring others. It's about reclaiming the power that you have always had. Because when your validation comes from within, you stop bending yourself in order to fit into someone else's mold. You stop shrinking. You stop apologizing for existing. And here's the beautiful twist. The moment you start validating yourself, something magical happens. You begin to attract more opportunities, people, experiences, and energy that matches your truth and not your performance. You're not chasing approval anymore. You are leading with alignment. So, if happiness has felt out of reach, if confidence has felt fake, it's not because you're not enough. It's because you have been outsourcing your worth when it has been inside you all along. If this conversation stirred something in you, if you could find parts of yourself in the stories or felt like someone finally putting words to what you have been silently experiencing, you're not alone. Self-validation is not just a one-time decision. It's a practice. It's a journey. And this is just the beginning. In part 2 of the series, we are going deeper. We'll uncover the subtle signs that show you're not validating yourself, maybe without even realizing it. We'll talk about how to stop feeding self-doubt and what to do when your inner critic gets louder than your inner truth. Because once you become aware of these patterns, you get the power to break them. And that's when the real transformation begins. So, if you're ready to stop questioning yourself and start trusting yourself, then I'll see you in the part 2. Until then, remember this. Your voice is valid. Your feelings are real. And you don't need someone else's permission to believe in yourself.